Deck 13 is known for its solid yet imperfect Souls-like games, Lords of the Fallen, The Surge, and its sequel. However, their next game, the upcoming action RPG Atlas Fallen, is steering in a somewhat different direction. This game offers a promising combination of vast exploration, fast-paced action, and combat, set in a sandy post-apocalyptic world. So before you head out into the desert on August 10, here are 18 things you should know about Atlas Fallen. The story. Atlas Fallen's narrative centers on Thelos, the sun god accountable for humanity's misery. Deprived of their homes and names, humans must scavenge magical essence out of the ruins for their sun god. You take on the role of an unnamed worker who is given the ability to free humanity through a special glove. With the new skills, you can soar through the air, glide over sandy dunes, and discover new areas. Number 17. The World of Atlas Fallen. The action RPG is not an open-world game. Still, the developers promise a large and sprawling semi-open desert called Atlas, which will be divided into several areas where you can discover hidden secrets and mysterious relics. It is an impressive but desolate medieval fantasy world under the control of powerful gods. The developers took a lot of inspiration in advance from iconic universes like Dune, The Lord of the Rings, and The Witcher. Then they thought about how the whole thing would have to look after millennia of sand influence to give it its visual twist and originality. Choice of consequences. Even though the choice and consequence mechanics aren't the main focus in Atlas Fallen, they will still play a role in the overall experience, primarily through dialogue decisions. Some choices can have significant consequences, such as the fate of certain characters. However, Deck 13 has made it clear that while your decisions may cause distractions and tonal shifts in the story, the principal and crucial paths won't be significantly affected. Number 15. Combat. Atlas Fallen focuses on speed and style as key elements of gameplay. The most pronounced area reflecting this approach is combat, where the emphasis lies in seamlessly blending your abilities and swift attacks to execute combos, aerial maneuvers, dodges, and parries during skirmishes. This leads to intense battles that will demand all your strategies and skills in order to succeed. Find and combine Essence Stones. One critical aspect of the combat system is that the Essence Stones are scattered all over the game world. These stones grant distinctive passive or active abilities and buffs. And given there are over 100 of them available in Atlas, players will enjoy remarkable flexibility in customizing and developing their characters. Number 13. Build up your momentum. Utilizing Essence Stone's abilities will intertwine with the momentum mechanic. As you execute attacks and basic combos, your momentum bar gradually fills up, incorporating a unique risk-reward aspect. While a higher filled bar leaves you more vulnerable to incoming attacks, it enables access to more potent Essence abilities. Fill it up to a specific threshold and you can unleash a unique ability linked to your equipped weapon. 3 weapons to rule them all. In Atlas Fallen, you don't need to carry tons of weapons, but you can create weapons out of the sand, thanks to the mighty gauntlet.
Power Glove.
With it, you can summon 3 types of weapons: Cleaver, Whip, and Fist. In the game, they are called Dune Cleaver, Sand Whip, and Knuckle Dust, which you can combine with the countless Essence Stones to create your unique build. However, at the beginning of the game, players don't have immediate access to these weapons. You need to collect shards and catalyst pieces to reforge the gauntlet and unlock the various options for the weapons. The Dune Cleaver deals massive damage and can shatter crystallized enemies with a shattering attack. This heavy equipment piece deals a lot of area damage on your foes. On the other hand, the Sand Whip is a weapon for quick attacks in close and mid-range combat. This weapon is a good choice for filling up the momentum bar. You can also crystallize foes, making it a perfect combination with the Dune Cleaver, which then can deal a giant final blow to shatter your frozen opponents. As a quick hitting weapon, the Knuckle Dust isn't an excellent choice for groups of enemies, but for one-on-one battles, such as stronger enemies or mighty boss fights. You can carry, switch, and combine 2 weapons out of 3 simultaneously to create devastating attacks. Number 11. Traversing the desert. The central aspect of the Atlas Fallen experience lies in navigating the sandy world, offering players an array of distinctive abilities to ensure swift and exhilarating traversal. From air dashing to sand gliding and even the classic double jump, these traversal skills can be upgraded to enhance their effectiveness. Naturally, players can use these abilities in combat scenarios, adding another layer of excitement to their journey. Legendary creatures. During your exploration, not only Thelos followers and smaller enemies will constantly get in your way. There are also giant legendary beasts lurking in the desert world, all with different characteristics and attack styles. Defeating them requires some skill and know-how. You'll have to analyze their movement patterns, find out their weak points, and attack them at the right time to beat the house-sized enemies more easily. Number 9. Raising buried objects. Your exploration involves more than just moving between points A and B. There will still be plenty of that, but you'll also encounter buried objects and environmental elements beneath the sands. These can be raised from their graves, unlocking new gameplay opportunities, including new paths and previously hidden areas. Customization and progression. Being promoted as an RPG, Atlas Fallen significantly emphasizes customization and progression mechanics. Much of this will revolve around the Essence Stones, as previously mentioned, but you can also engage in equipping diverse armor pieces, upgrading gear, and exploring cosmetic customization options. However, it might be important to note that a character creator won't be available at the start of your adventure. Number 7. More freedom and optional challenges. Since one of Atlas Fallen's key aspects revolves around exploration and fast-paced movement, the game world has been uniquely designed. It deviates from what you would typically expect from Deck 13 games. This means you'll be able to explore and navigate larger, more open areas. The devs promise that each of these expansive zones will provide hours of gameplay, including some of the most challenging content for those looking for additional difficulty beyond the main quests. Speaking of difficulty levels, in contrast to Deck 13's previous games, which have been known for their challenging Souls-like nature, Atlas Fallen is taking a broader approach to difficulty. It will be less exhausting overall, but let you choose from 3 distinct difficulty levels, providing flexibility to tailor your experience according to your preferences. Number 5. Playing time of Atlas Fallen. Undoubtedly, Atlas Fallen seems to offer a wealth of activities, but the question remains, how substantial will the overall experience be? Although Deck 13 has not disclosed the exact runtime of the main story, they have mentioned that for those who delve into all of the game's content, it will span approximately 25 to 30 hours, a respectable length to say the least. But still, the ultimate factor will be the quality and immersion of the content, which determines the game's overall appeal. Seamless co-op experience. According to the devs, Atlas Fallen was primarily crafted as a single-player adventure, but now a 2-player co-op option is available if you want to embark on the journey with a helping friend. While playing in co-op, you will actively participate in all cutscenes and conversations with NPCs and receive rewards for your efforts, whether you join someone else's session or vice versa. Your character progression during co-op will also be saved for further happenings. The game's difficulty will scale to suit your playstyle, ensuring enjoyable and balanced cooperative gameplay. Number 3. Performance and quality mode. Atlas Fallen is tailored to harness the full potential of more recent hardware, making it a dedicated title for the current console generation without real cross-gen support. With a focus on the PS5 and Xbox Series X capabilities, the game offers 2 distinct modes. Performance that targets 1440p resolution running at 60 frames per second, and a quality mode that delivers 4K resolution at 30 frames per second. On the Xbox Series S, players can expect 1080p resolution and 60 frames per second. Number 2. PC requirements. For PC players, Atlas Fallen's system requirements are quite manageable, especially on lower settings. For minimum quality, an Intel Core i5 6600K or an AMD Ryzen 3 1200 paired with either a GTX 1050 Ti or an RX 470 with 4GB of VRAM and 8GB of RAM will suffice. Meanwhile, recommended settings call for an i7 9800X or a Ryzen 5 3600 accompanied by a GTX 1070 Ti or an RX 5700 and 16GB of RAM. In either case, approximately 35GB of free storage space will be needed. Number 1. The different editions. You have the option of selecting from 3 bundles. The Signature Edition, comprising concept art and a genuine hand signature, along with a Ruin Rising DLC, had only 100 copies available and has already been sold out for $100 unless it restocks. The Limited Edition, priced at $80, offers a Ruin Rising DLC pack, a steelbook, and a metal poster. Alternatively, you can choose the Base Edition at $50, obviously including the game alone. Thanks for watching. What's your take on the Sandy Surf adventure? We look forward to your comment. If you like or dislike this video, show it with your thumb. Expect more videos soon. And for more content updates in the meantime, check out our website yourgames.tv and follow us on Twitter @yourgtv. See you in the next one, ballers.